Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
The Winnebago County Coroner is locked out of his office. We sort through the terms of Bill Hintz's administrative leave agreement. Shots ring out at a park in Belvidere, leaving a man dead. The victim's family begs for answers while Boone County investigators work to put the pieces together. Singer-songwriter R. Kelly's found guilty on federal charges. The prosecutor in charge of the case says the accusations are like nothing she's ever seen in the courtroom. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy. Eric Wilson is off tonight. Piling charges against Winnebago County Coroner Bill Hintz have led him to going on administrative leave. The terms of the agreement between Hintz and County Board Chairman Joe Chiarelli include the coroner remaining on leave until his 6 pending criminal cases are resolved. Hintz is also prohibited from accessing county-issued property and is unable to perform any work-related duties. Hintz is accused of fraud and stealing from the dead. His wife, Michelle, also faces charges. The administrative leave agreement is expected to be approved at the county board meeting Thursday. Hintz is due back in court October 8th. One man is dead after a shooting last night in Belvidere. It's the first homicide in the city since 2015. The family of the 28-year-old victim is holding a candlelight vigil right now. Rachel Perry is there live tonight. We will go to her coming up in just a bit.
Y'all took my brother away from me, my family.
Amber Simpson says her life will never be the same without her brother Dallas.
Family and friends mean the world to him, and he definitely put a stamp in this world.
Amber and her mother, Tammy Alm, described Dallas as the life of the party and a great father of 3.
This is what you took from this boy. You took his father away from this little boy.
He loved his kids and he would do anything for them. And you guys took my brother.
The family says Dallas was shot and killed Sunday night in General Mills Park. Belvidere Police Chief Shane Woody tells me the neighborhood has a lot of community support.
It only takes one incident with, people that have bad intentions to, really kind of cast a negative cloud over all of that.
This is the first homicide in Belvidere in 6 years.
It's one of those situations where this is truly a tragedy and it's unfortunate, and we'll do everything that we can to find justice for the family.
Now Dallas's family is asking anyone with information to contact the Belvidere Police Department.
And if anybody knows anything, please come forward. I'm begging you. The sooner they're caught, the better off they are.
Nobody's gonna give up until you guys are found. I swear to God.
That was Rachel Perry reporting. Police are looking for 2 people in connection with the homicide who drove off in a dark-colored SUV. Chief Woody says they're also still investigating other shots-fired calls this weekend. We will have more on that coming up later. A man is rushed to the hospital after being stabbed in Rockford. Early Saturday morning, police were called to a home on 11th Avenue for a stabbing. That's where they found a 20-year-old man with wounds to his stomach and chest. He is expected to be okay. Investigators say this is the man who held the knife. Michael Lewis faces aggravated battery with a deadly weapon and battery charges. Officers did not say what led up to the altercation. Lewis is being held in the Winnebago County Jail. Rockford police respond to a pair of motorcycle crashes over the weekend. The first incident happened around 2 a.m. Sunday near the corner of Montague and Rose Avenue. Investigators say a car slammed into a motorcycle. Officers found the driver of the bike suffering from life-threatening injuries. The passenger was also taken to the hospital. Meanwhile, the driver of the suspect vehicle was nowhere to be found. If you know who that is, contact police. Then, around 7:30 Sunday night, officers were called to the intersection of Auburn and Royal Avenue for a truck versus motorcycle crash. Police say the truck was stopped when a 26-year-old man on a motorcycle crashed into the vehicle. The motorcyclist was rushed to the hospital and remains in serious condition. 2 adults and a child inside the truck were not hurt. Pfizer announced today it's testing an oral antiviral drug that may be able to prevent someone from getting COVID-19 if they come into close contact with someone who has it. That includes people who live in the same house. Researchers are looking at the efficacy of the pill when it's used with a drug that treats HIV. It's aimed to block a key enzyme the virus needs to replicate. Pfizer plans to enroll more than 2,600 people in the late-stage study and expects results by the end of the year. If you enjoy sharing information about COVID with friends and family, the Illinois Department of Health has a role for you. COVID-19 ambassadors speak to Illinoisans about the virus, prevention, and the vaccine. With a time commitment of a few hours a month, ambassadors hope to answer questions from the public and stop the spread of the virus. You can find a link to become a COVID ambassador using the My State Line mobile app. Guilty on all counts. That's the verdict this afternoon for singer R. Kelly, who was charged with running a criminal enterprise to showcase his music and to sexually exploit women, girls, and boys. During the trial, the jury heard from more than 50 witnesses. They were told the entourage of managers and aides who helped the singer meet the girls and keep them obedient and quiet amounted to a criminal enterprise. Several accusers testified during the trial, alleging that Kelly subjected them to perverse and sadistic whims when they were underage.
I have been practicing law for 47 years. During this time, I have pursued many sexual predators who have committed crimes against women and children. Of all the predators that I have pursued, however, Mr. Kelly is the worst.
Kelly's attorney says he plans on appealing the decision. A Northwestern University fraternity is once again under the microscope after allegations members drugged people at a party. University police say over the weekend they received multiple reports that individuals were drugged at Sigma Alpha Epsilon. That fraternity is currently in its first year back after a years-long suspension after 4 women reported that they were drugged at a party in 2017. Another victim says they were drugged at a different frat called Alpha Epsilon Pi. 2,000 people protested outside the fraternity Sunday night, demanding Northwestern abolish Greek life altogether.
I mean, this isn't the first time that something like this has happened. Unless the school takes meaningful action, it won't be the loss.
An email alert sent to students says their health, safety, and well-being are top priority, and Northwestern is taking the allegations very seriously. You can now get a degree from another Illinois university without having to go on campus. Southern Illinois University Carbondale and the Illinois Community College Board are partnering to make a degree more accessible. The Saluki Step Ahead program allows community college students to earn a bachelor's degree remotely and at a lower cost. Academic areas include accounting, business administration, healthcare management, criminal justice, and more. For more information on how to enroll, head to mystateline.com. As part of the White House's latest push to fight the COVID-19 pandemic, President Biden publicly received his booster shot today. Alexandra Limon has details on his message to Americans as the country continues to battle the virus. Eyewitness News is keeping you connected to the nation's capital.
But I am over 65. I wish I way over.
President Biden rolled up his sleeve for a COVID-19 booster shot as one of the millions of Americans now eligible for an additional dose of the Pfizer vaccine. Anyone over 65 or with underlying health risks can also get a booster, along with healthcare workers, grocery store employees, and people with other high-risk jobs, if it's been more than 6 months since their second shot. But the president says there's something more important than booster shots, and that's convincing the unvaccinated to get their initial immunizations. According to the CDC, 25% of eligible Americans have not received any doses of the COVID-19 vaccine.
We know that to beat this pandemic and to save lives, to keep our children safe, our schools open, our economy going, we need to get folks vaccinated.
The president said unvaccinated Americans put others at risk.
That's why I'm moving forward with vaccination requirements wherever I can.
But there still isn't a date for when President Biden's vaccine mandate for businesses with more than 100 employees will take effect.
We knew it would take a little bit of time, given there are some very understandable and good questions by the business community. They want to ensure there's clarity when they put out the rules.
When it does take effect, Republicans, including a group of 24 state attorneys general, are threatening to sue the administration. In Washington, Alexandra Limon.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, today felt more like a late July, August afternoon rather than a late September afternoon. Not necessarily humid, but just with the heat out there. Nothing but sunshine for us this afternoon. A live look with a Merced Sky Track camera down in Rochelle. Looking up to the north and northwest, we've got plenty of sunshine as that clear sky will take us here into much of this evening and overnight. It was a hot day today. Temperature in Rockford made it to 90 degrees. This broke our record high temperature by 1 degree for the 27th of September, 89, that previous record set back in 1954. And that heat, something that is going to stick around here for quite some time. 88 in the Pretzel City, 89 in Rockford, 86 in Rochelle. You don't have too much of a heat index. That's because our air mass is very, very dry, which is why we had mostly sunny skies, and that dry air is something that'll stick around through mid to end week. 87 for our weather watcher Ken in Belvidere said it felt more like August out there. 88 for Ben in South Beloit. Bob here in Rockford checking in also with 88 degrees. No rainfall for us today, and unfortunately that rain chance looking fairly slim until possibly late into the weekend, maybe early next week. But there is a cold front, and that cold front came through about 1 o'clock this afternoon. Probably didn't even notice it because it came through with little fanfare. All we did was see that wind shift around to the north. Lakeside temperatures along Lake Michigan, those are cooling quite a bit, but that cooler air mass is not something that is going to work this far west here for us, so we don't get much relief from that for us tonight. Underneath that mostly clear sky, it is going to be a warm evening. Temperatures tonight, though, with that drier air, will drop back into the 50s, right around 54 degrees after we started off at 63 here this morning. We're right back in the 80s for tomorrow, not quite as hot as today, but still well above average. 84 for tomorrow afternoon, despite that wind coming in from the east and southeast. High pressure remains in control both at the surface and above. In fact, keeps our skies mostly clear. Just a few lake clouds to the east of us tonight. Other than that, it's full sunshine that'll take us through tomorrow and Wednesday. Late week, we'll start to see a little bit more cloud cover move in, and that's part of that system off to the west that'll eventually work to break down what we have a blocking ridge of high pressure. This is called an omega block because the way that the jet stream is positioned, it looks like the Greek letter omega. You've got a dip or a trough in the jet stream out to the west. You get a ridge of high pressure over the center of the country, and then you get another dip or a trough in the jet stream out to the east. That combined with the drought conditions that we have and that very, very, very dry air mass really going to allow those temperatures to stay well above average even through the end of the week. Now, I mentioned the rain chance. We are going to stay dry. Unfortunately, we need the rainfall. Just doesn't look like we're going to get a lot of it until maybe the end of the weekend. That dip in the jet stream, that low pressure system out to the west, that'll start to break down. We see an area of low pressure kind of slide to the south of us late Saturday into Sunday. That could give us a couple of showers, cool those temperatures off just a bit. But the overall trend that takes us the rest of the way through October, at least maybe through the 7th, 8th, or even 9th of the month, favors those above average temperatures. So here's where it looks like for the rest of the week. Back up to 87 Wednesday, Thursday, 81 on Friday. Mimi, we're back down into the 70s here by the end of the weekend.
Now, the Napleton Sports Desk with Sports Director Scott Leber.
It is a deja vu Monday for Bears fans. They feel like they've been through this before, frustrated over what they've seen from their organization and their team. The frustration is understandable. It feels like it's a repeat of the last few seasons. The Bears have a head coach who is an adept at game planning, scheming, and play calling. They have a young quarterback who has talent, but the fans are starting to feel that young talent could again be wasted by a head coach who doesn't know how to use him, a head coach who can't coach that quarterback up in Justin Fields. The fans are frustrated that the general manager, Ryan Pace, didn't put together a better offensive line for Fields or whoever the Bears quarterback ends up being. It's just more of the same, and that's why Bears fans feel a level of hopelessness today, and I can't blame them. I offered some tips for Matt Nagy right here on Thursday to help out Justin Fields. They included moving Fields out of the pocket to throw and to give Fields more run-pass options. That would also help Fields avoid the Browns' outstanding pass rush. Another tip was to throw some screen passes, again to counter the Browns' pass rush. Another tip was to throw to the tight ends more often. Well, Nagy and the Bears did none of those things, or very, very little of them. The other problem I have with the coaching staff is when you play an elite pass rusher like Myles Garrett, how do you not leave a running back in the backfield to help with pass protection? And how do you not use your tight ends to help double-team Garrett? Unbelievable. The result was 9 sacks at Fields, an offense that had only 47 total yards. I wonder how much longer the Bears players can keep faith in Matt Nagy. All right, so where do the Bears go from here? For starters, Nagy needs to, again, give up the play-calling duties, turn them over to Bill Lazor. That worked to some degree last season. It certainly can't hurt right now. Who should start at quarterback? Considering the Bears play the Lions this week, I'd start Justin Fields if his injured hand is okay. I don't want Fields standing on the sidelines for 3 or 4 weeks thinking about yesterday's disaster. He needs to get back out there and make some positive plays. The Lions, they're the perfect opponent for that. And 3, the Bears defense has to keep getting better because it's going to have to prop up the offense again. I was very impressed with the Bears defense yesterday through 2.5 quarters. Here's one silver lining for the Bears. Their 2 losses came against legitimate Super Bowl contenders, the Rams and the Browns, teams that also have 2 of the best defenses in the NFL. So there's some hope that we will see some offensive improvement.
Candace will have a final look at the weather in just a moment, but first, here's a look at what's to come on News Nation tonight.
Tonight, only on Balance.
That's Mexico. Here's the United States.
Leland Vittert live from the border. He talks to migrants who've made it across the Rio Grande and what's next for the thousands stranded. Plus, coming up on Dan Abrams Live.
Tonight on the premiere episode of Dan Abrams Live.
Crisis at the border. No matter how you feel, we do have laws to follow. The limits of what we can do with former head of Homeland Security, Janet Napolitano.
Coming up on Dan Abrams Live tonight.
You can catch News Nation tonight on cable and satellite stations you see here. You can also head to newsnation.com.
Skies will stay dry as we go through the night tonight after a very warm record-breaking afternoon. We've got the 80s that stick around through the end of the week.
Thanks, Candace, and thanks for watching. We'll see you at 6.